Good morning, children. This is Suman Bhatia, and today to I'm here today to start the history chapter number 2 from hunters and gatherers to going food. Let's start with our topic today. So the topics today we are going to study is why the people in the earlier time kept on moving from one place to another. The second topic we are going to study, how do we know about the life of such people? The third topic we are going to see is that how did people choose the places they lived? What were the terms and the conditions for the people to choose a living place? Then the next topic we will study about the sites. What kind of sites we are going to see? There are two different sites and we are going to look in details about that sites. Then we will study about the most important discovery made by man, that is fire. So let's start with our topic for today. The first topic, as you can see on the screen, you will see there why people kept on moving from one place to another in the past. Basically, man was living a nomadic life. He has to travel or move from one place to another in search of food, for gathering his food and survive in the nature. So he used to eat the flesh of the animals, raw meat, eggs, fish, gathered fruits from the jungle, roots of the bulbs and the roots that was found underneath the ground, some nuts, eggs of the birds, some kind of leaves which can be eatable. So such kind of things were used as food by the nomadic people. Now, if we look the other side of this story, that if they lived in one place, what will happen? Basically, four things would happen if man started living in one place during that time. What was that? The four reasons we are going to study is that if man lived in one place, the first reason, if man lived in one place, all the natural resources could be eaten up in some limited time. And finally, then all the resources will get depleted. And then finally man has to move from one place to another again for the search of food. So the first point we studied is the natural resources will get depleted. The second point, hunting. Man was a hunter and gatherer. So second is animals. If hunting is done, animals keep on moving from one place to another. If man is moving, chasing the animal will move from one place to another, because animal is also going to hunt. He is also going to find his prey. The animal is also going to find some cattle or grasses for their food. So the animals has to continuously move from one place to another. And just because they were chasing these animals for hunting, the man also has to move from one place to another. So second is hunting of animals. Animals move, so man has to move. The third point, plants. We are gathering the roots and the bulbs and the fruits and the leaves from the trees. So plants. Do all plants bear fruits in all seasons? Obviously not. So plants bear special kind of fruit in some special seasons. So it is not easy for man to get a supply of fruit, bulb or whatever plant produce continuously. It depends upon season to season. So man has to wait till the season comes for that fruit or for that resource. The fourth point, water. The main requirement for a living person. Water is a necessity. We can't, even animals, human beings, we all can't live without water. So man has to see a place where water will be available in plenty. So the best option for a man was to settle down in places where a lot of water is available. That is perennial rivers, lakes, ponds, wells. So lot of settlements we can see were done at the places where perennial rivers flow. These are the four reasons why man was forced to live a nomadic life. So here you can see the picture how man is doing farming, and then he learned how to grow the crops. So let's move to our next topic. How do we come to know about the life of the people, that the people were living in this way and that way? So let's find out how do we come to know about such things. So how do we come to know about these people? The answer is archaeologists. Archaeologists are the people who do excavations in the earth's surface and find out the remains that were left by the people in the past. So these archaeologists are the people who find out the things, and from these things they tell us that these things happened and that things happened. So this archaeologist found some kind of tools. They found some kind of tools that were used by these people at that time, and these things you can see here in the picture. You can see an axe, a stone made axe, wood or bone. There were three things used for making tools: stone, wood and bones. So this stone, wood and bones, with the three requirements or the three materials used for making these tools, out of these three, the stone tools that were used at that time have survived the best. They are still, and from this remains the archaeologists read, find out or make some statement that these things were found and such things happened in the past. Now let's see what work the people do with this kind of tools. If there is a stone, you can see here it was used for digging the ground under the soil to collect the roots and the bulbs. It was used for taking out the barks of the trees for making some kind of clothes or other things. Also, people used some special kind of stone or bone made tools for stitching the leaves or the skin of the animals for making their clothes. Now let's move towards the next topic. Our next topic is choosing a place to live in. So here on the screen you will see a map of archaeological sites in our country India. Here there are 3 to 4 main sites. I will tell you. There is a triangle you can see here, the red triangle, that is Paleolithic sites. That is old, very old Stone Age. The blue color square box you can see on the screen, that is the Neolithic sites, the New Stone Age. And megalithic sites you can say as the Middle Stone Age. So people in different eras of this Stone Age, what they do, they used the stones in a different way, sharp, more sharp, technology wise, or skillful method of carving the stones improved from one time to another. Here in the map you can see Bhimbetka, the rectangle, the central point you can see here, Bhimbetka. Here you can see Hanshgi and the Kurnul caves. They are the Paleolithic sites, the old Stone Age, and these are the sites where the old man, the early man, when he started transforming his life from nomadic to a settled life, they settled in these 3 places: Bhimbetka, Hanshgi and Kurnul caves. So here on the screen you can see a rock painting, that is the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. The central part I showed you in the map, that is Madhya Pradesh. So here on this rock you can see designs and sculptures or paintings of a man. That man is doing some kind of hunting, he's cultivating, and all such kind of paintings on these stones have been made in Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. So Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, it is one of the oldest sites with the caves and rock shelters. People used to live in this natural kind of caves because they needed shelter from rain and cold, and even from the wild animals. These rocks were very close to the Narmada Valley because I told you just that 4 reasons. One is water. So plenty of water was available in this area. Shelter was available, so people chose this region for settling down and living here in the Narmada Valley. Now the topic for next topic is sites. Now there are different kinds of sites found. First is the factory sites and the other is habitation sites. The places where people lived, they wanted to settle down, or they live with their families, with their animals and all. Their sites are called habitation sites. And some places are factory sites where people settled for small time for making good quality of tools, weapons, carving them, and then moving on forward. Other sites are called habitation come factory sites where people lived, settled down, and also they did their carving and shaping of the tools and weapons and all other things. So sites are the places where the remains of the things, that is tools, pots, buildings, houses, whatever you can say, of the past things are found. These things were made or used or left behind by the people during this nomadic life, when they were changing this nomadic life in turning into a settled life. These things are buried inside the surface of the earth and they are excavated or found by the archaeologists, and from this remains the archaeologists predict what would have happened. Now, finding out about fire. Fire, the basic necessity of today's man. This is not the necessity only of today's man. Earlier also, fire was used man for various purposes. The main purpose was to light the caves. They were living in caves. So to bring light into the caves, fire was used. Second, man was a hunter. Earlier, man was a hunter. He used this fire for roasting the meat. Third, man was living in a wild life. So man used this fire to scare away the wild animals in the forest. So basically, how do we come to know that fire was found? The main evidence for this answer, for this question, is ashes were found. Ashes were found in some sites like Kurnool. There, archaeologists and other historians, they found out that ashes were found, and these ashes were the evidence that fire was used during this time in these caves. So thank you, students. Hope you all understood. And once, just for a revision, we'll come back to the assignment. So coming to the assignment section, why did man kept on moving in the past? I gave you the reason that man lived a nomadic life. So explain it in detail more. Give points for that. Second question, state any 4 reasons for man to lead a nomadic life. I gave you 4 reasons. In short, man cannot stay in one place because of natural resources depletion. Second, hunting was the reason. Third, plants bear fruits in different seasons. Then water. So I explained all these 4 points in detail and write your answer. Next, how do we know about the things that happened in the past? It's a one-word answer. I think you can guess. You can see the video and guess the answer. Where is Bhimbetka located? The answer is still hidden in the video. All the best, students, for your assignment. Hope you are doing well, and the part 2 of this section will be soon back to you. Thank you.